is Gary Woodburn from member 2 against Tom the Bomb Foster. He's had 32 bouts. He's 18 years old.
Yeah.
He's a 2-time Nova Scotia provincial champ. He boxed at the 2016 Nationals, boxed and won silver at the 2016 Brampton Cup, and he boxed in the Ringside World Championships 2015. So lots of experience.
Lots of experience. He hasn't been in the ring much lately. He just came back, started training, and he was ready to fight tonight, so they figured they'd try to match him up. So it's going to be a good fight. He's got a tough kid that he's fighting from member 2 tonight, so it's going to be a really good, close, contested match. Foster's been around for a long time.
Let's bring the other combatant into the arena from the blue corner, Thomas Foster. Boxing out of the red corner. This gentleman has been under the ring. It's his first time back in a little over 2 years. He is a one-time Nova Scotia provincial boxing champion from member 2 Boxing Club. Boxing fans, give it up for Gary Woodburn. And his opponent staring him down across the ring. Boxing out of the blue corner. Provincial boxing champion. He boxed in the 2016 Nationals. He boxed and won a silver at the 2016 Brampton Cup. He also boxed at the Ringside World Championships in 2015. Ladies and gentlemen, Tri-Town Zone from North Sydney, Thomas Foster. And our referee in charge of the bell after the bell.
I think this is going to be a great fight, Dave. It's going to be very evenly contested, and it's going to be a lot of leather throwing.
Well, here we go. In the red corner again, it's Gary Woodburn from member 2. Tom Foster from the north side, Tri-Town Boxing Club. A lot of experience. They both look pretty quick.
Yes, yeah. Again, both guys leaving their hands pretty low to start, which could come back to haunt them later on in the round or the fight.
Not usually a trait of amateur boxing.
No, absolutely. Hands are always high in amateur boxing.
Good left there by Foster. Another left hook, jab, excuse me. It seems as the evening goes along, the crowd getting a little more vociferous, getting involved in it.
Yeah, yeah.
Shot to the body by Foster.
Both guys looking to set up off their jab. Foster kind of rushing in there, closing the distance with his jab, maybe too much. Woodburn used to box at his Sydney Boxing Club with Brad Ross before he switched clubs over to member 2. Good right hand by Foster.
Neither boxer so far working inside at all.
No. It almost seems like there's still a feeling out process, but with only 3 rounds, you got to make it quick.
That was a slip.
Calling it a slip, yeah. Foster really focusing on the body with that left hook.
Really hasn't been a lot of punches landing in this round.
No, not a lot of clean shots. And sometimes you get that with 2 guys that are, equally matched and of the same experience.
When Woodburn slipped, now normally does this happen that Foster was moving in on him, then he could have taken advantage of that situation. Would that have been a foul on his part?
It would have been a foul, yeah. If he has 1 knee down or a glove down, if Foster had hit him, that would have been a foul. Could have got disqualified, maybe if he had hurt him, if he had thrown a punch. All depends on the discretion of the referee.
This show is sponsored by the North Sydney Mines and Florence Legions. Lots of entertainment for the day.
I think that was a pick'em round.
Well, as you mentioned at the end, some of the corner guys are animated. The guy in Foster's corner is anyway, but
Sunday, June 4th at the doors. Hope to see you all there. Seconds out for round number 2.
you were talking earlier about George Chuvalo being with you for days.
Yeah.
When I had the opportunity to interview Floyd Patterson, and he was with a group of boys out at the Gardner Center, had a group of boxers down in New York. One thing he did say about George Chuvalo, I asked him about who was the better boxers, and he said Muhammad Ali had the fastest legs. He said, of course, I have the fastest hands, meaning himself, Floyd Patterson.
Yeah.
But he said George Chuvalo, pound for pound, was the toughest fighter he ever faced.
Yeah, Ali said the same thing about him. The first time they fought after the fight, famous story was Ali went to the hospital because he started bleeding from his urine, and Chuvalo went out disco dancing with his wife, and he lost that decision. Tough as nails.
Tough, yeah. Here we are in round number 2 in the red corner. It's Gary Woodburn.
Oh,
Now Foster taking it to Woodburn.
Foster seems to be picking it up early in the second round. He's digging to the body, and he's being very smart, and he's coming back to the head after he digs to the body.
I think that was an adjustment that his coaching made in the corner after the first round, because he seemed to come out and deliberately do that, go right to the body and then to the head,
Then to the head, yeah. Coaches will always tell you when you go to the body, always finish to the head, because it brings your guard down, so always finish to the head.
Like Mickey Ward.
Like Irish Mickey Ward, yeah. With that left hook to the liver, and then he'd always come back with the left hook to the head.
Well, missed by Foster.
Again, a very evenly contested fight. We'll see how Foster's conditioning is, again, having a layoff of a little bit. Both kids actually having a layoff of a little bit. Again, Foster seems to be landing that left hook to the body at will. If he could just come back with a second hook to the head, he would be landing it probably 90% of the time. See, he's coming that left hook to the head, body, but not coming back to the head.
Still Woodburn, still throwing a lot of punches.
Yeah, he's very busy.
For a lot of these boxers, Kyle, is it a matter of not only getting yourself physically in shape and ready for a fight, but what about days before, the day of the fight? Is there a special diet? Do these guys try to stay away from food, or what do they do?
Well, they might carb load just beforehand, but they'll keep it light because they don't want that heavy set feeling in their stomach as they're fighting. But usually with amateur boxing, the weigh-ins are the same day. So if a fighter's cutting weight, he may have the weigh-in at 1, or like today the weigh-ins were at 2 p.m. You give them enough time afterwards, you know, to refuel, you know, get their weight back up, but do it properly. You know, complex carbs, not simple carbs with the fast sugars that are going to go through your system. But usually, spaghetti and meatballs, some sort of pasta is usually a pre-fight meal. But you keep it light. But you want to sustain that energy. So no crap food, basically, before the fight.
What? They had a good round with
Excellent round.
Tom the Bomb Foster and Gary Woodburn.
It's pretty close fight right now, Dave. I think it might come down to the third round and who wants it more. Both guys are slowing down a bit, but I mean, both of them have excellent skill sets, so they both came to win. We'll see what they have left for the third round or how they change their game plan if they do.
Again, Gary Martin in the corner with the number 2 boxer. Who's the other coach?
Daniel Martin, his young son. Yeah.
Okay.
He used to box too at a Ring 73, and they've been working together for many years now at Member 2 Boxing Club. And again, as I said earlier, they've done a tremendous job out there. And you know, they're 2 good coaches. Obviously, Greg was national team coach for quite a while, produced many national champions. And Daniel's just a chip off the old block. He's the exact same way. He's going to be a tremendous coach as he gets older.
Okay, we're down to the third and final round. Gary Woodburn in the red, Tom Foster from the north side in the blue.
I think they're coming for it. They're coming for it this round, Dave. I think it's maybe 1 round apiece, or that's what maybe their coaches have told them. So it's all going to come down to the last round and who wants it more.
Good left by Woodburn. One thing with amateur boxing, when it's close in the third round, or the final round, is always very active.
Absolutely, yeah. They know they have only 3 rounds to work, so they need to lay it all on the line, especially in this last round.
Again, Woodburn in the red, Foster in the blue. Foster with a lot of experience. Which really is just that experience. It doesn't really amount to a roll of beans when you're in the ring in terms of when you're fighting a guy. I mean,
absolutely
great to talk about, but...
No, you're right, Dave. You're 100% right.
You're allowed to do that. He's seen that the blue boxer pull his head down. I think he's warning, the referee's warning him.
Yeah, you can't pull the head down. You can get fouled for that as well.
We're almost to the end of this third and final round. Gonna be a close one to call. It'll be in the hands of the judges.
Yeah, very close fight. Very close fight. I wouldn't want to be on the judges panel for this one.
Foster walked into one there, but
both fighters are starting to tire just a little bit here at the end of the third round, but I'm sure they've given it their all up to this point. Pretty evenly contested.
Woodburn trying to set up the big punch there, and something got through, but I don't know how much. Is it the amount of impact or just impact? Is it just touch?
Impact, yeah. Okay. Just impact. Points. They scored on points.
They're still at it. The crowd are loving this. A good match. Again, Gary Woodburn in the red, Tom Foster in the blue. Foster from the north side, so he's the hometown boy.
10 seconds. Oh, good finish. It's a good finish. That was a great fight, Dave. Close fight.
That was a good scrap. Again, it's in the hands of the The officials right now, the ringside officials, the judges.
Again, I wouldn't want to have to pick a winner in this fight.
We'll wait to hear from Blake, the ring announcer.
Again, maybe Tri-Town by close decision, but this one's totally up in the air because the number 2 fighter did very, very well. Again, there's always good fight cards in Cape Breton. They always put on real, real good bouts.
And it's interesting, if the lights are up, you could probably go through the crowd and pick up guys that are former
Oh, absolutely.
boxers.
You know, yeah. Of all ages, from, you know, 20s, 30s, 40s, all the way up to 60s and 70s. You usually see Rudy Palici.
I was just going to say that, yeah.
And Henry Rideout and his brother here all the time.
Once again, we go to the judges' scorecards for our decision for this bout. Enter your winner by split decision. From the red corner, Gary Woodburn.
So Woodburn wins by a split decision over Tom the Bomb Foster from North Sydney.
Close fight, Dave. Very evenly contested. That's a pick'em fight. Good fight. These guys will probably rematch. I know member 2 has their big card coming up in about 3 weeks, so I assume that maybe these guys will get a rematch.
Okay. Next, we're coming up Jeremy Whalen from the Hubtown Club in Truro against Mike McClain from New Waterford, 170-pound class.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring in the boxer for the blue corner, Mike McClain. Ladies and gentlemen, our next bout of the evening is in the 170-pound classification. 3 rounds of boxing, 2 minutes per round. Now the participants, boxing out of the red corner. This boxer trains in Hubtown boxing from Truro, Nova Scotia. Boxing fans, let's hear it for Jeremy Whalen. And his opponent staring him down across the ring, boxing out of the blue corner. This boxer is making his debut fight from the New Waterford Boxing Club. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike McClain. And our referee in charge of the bout after the bell, Stephanie Walker.
Now, New Waterford Boxing Club, they've been in hiatus for quite a few years. Emerson Rose and Tara White have just recently reestablished the club, which was a powerhouse of a club back in the day. And it's good to see them back in Cape Breton boxing. And I know they have a big show that's coming up this July, Outside in the Lights. They always have great shows under the lights in the Waterford during Coal Dust days. I boxed a couple times there myself under the lights, and Emerson always puts on a great show, so it's good to see them back in the game.
For both these fighters, McClain from Waterford and Whalen from Hubtown, they're both 18 years old, and it is their debut fight. So
we're going to have a little bit of a delay before we start. Not much longer. We need the fight doctor in the back of the ringside, and he's on his way now.
which is that's a great role, and you have to have the doctor ringside. If not,
yeah,
who knows
absolutely.
What's going,
yeah. Again, safety of the boxers the utmost concern, so they won't start a bout until the boxer's back. Or until the doctor's back.
Interesting style by the fighter in the blue corner, McClain, when he came out of the corner.
The Waterford were always brawlers. They always, tough as nails, come straight forward. They would take a punch to give a punch.
Well, he had that little peekaboo style.
Yeah.
Right?
But again, the Waterford has 2 awesome coaches, so I can assume it's going to be a great fight.
McClain has that boxer look about him. He's got that, he doesn't have a long reach. does he? He seems like that short, compact swing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just the way he carries himself.
Now you can look like a boxer, but you got to be a boxer. You know.
That's right.
That's what I meant,
Looks
but he
are
just looks-
deceiving. Yeah. Looks can be deceiving. You never judge a book by its cover, especially in the sport of boxing. Both guys are swinging for the fences. Not really worrying about the jabs too much, kind of just throwing hooks and staying inside and throwing bombs.
Being very busy is Truro boxer Jeremy Whalen is in the red corner. Again, both these boxers, it's their first fights. Spending all kinds of time in the ring getting ready for it.
Yeah. You always get those first fight jitters. I mean, both these kids look like they're pretty settled right now. Good first round. Good first round. Maybe
Good
a
first
slight
round.
edge to the Truro fighter, but otherwise very, very even round.
First one's over. Toughest round.
Yeah, toughest round, yeah.
Any particular boxer, when you were boxing Kyle, who you kind of like to, who's your favorite boxer?
My two favorite boxers are Oscar De La Hoya,
Okay.
and I don't know if you know James Lights Out Tony.
James Tony, I've heard of.
Yeah, but one of my favorite fighters of all time. But I mean, I obviously couldn't box like either of them, but that's who I emulated when I was growing up and I was boxing, you know, and love Oscar
Tony
De La
fought
Hoya.
Olympics, didn't he?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So did De La Hoya. He won a
Okay.
gold in '92 in Barcelona.
Okay. Yeah.
But you know, both of them are out of the game now. Obviously, they're both promoting. But two of my favorite fighters. And that's who I tried to emulate. And I think most of the kids that fight, they have a favorite fighter that they kind of try to take some stuff from, you know, to improve their own game. I think that's the way it is in most sports.
Again, Whalen in the red, McClain from the Waterford in the blue corner.
And they're throwing bombs.
Whalen coming out being a little busy. Watch it seems that McClain from in the blue corner, he seems to, when he wants to land that big punch, he plants that back foot, eh? He just, he's really trying to get lots in it.
Well, that's right. You know, it's all the kinetic energy. Your power comes from your legs. And you got to make sure you have the feet planted in order to throw those power punches. Oh, big
hard one.
overhand right by McClain. Oh, and again to the body.
McClain seems to have a lot of power.
Yeah, he's landing the heavier shots for sure. He just needs to be a little bit more busy.
McClain seems to have that kind of heavyweight look about him. You know how
He does, yeah. Oh, another overhand right. Oh, and another one. McClain's landing some heavy shots here in the second round. Neither one of them really using their jab. They're just throwing bombs.
Well, as you mentioned earlier, the sport of boxing in the Waterford is pretty rich as well. In terms
Yeah,
of
it
the
really
history.
is, yeah.
They had a lot of great boxers from out that way. Oh, now Whalen coming back to finish out strong in that round.
I think this is anybody's fight, Dave. Third round's going to determine who wins.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a double-header weekend of boxing action coming up in Cape.
Well, that's a tough one. I mean, you're tired, but this is where you need the energy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Boxing Club will be putting on a show.
This is where that road work comes in.
That's when the road work and those extra hours come into play, yeah.
Tri Boxing Club will be putting on a boxing show on Sunday, June the 18th. So that's doubleheader boxing. Saturday the 2nd.
Again, Jeremy Whalen against Mike McClain from the Waterford, Whalen from Truro. Coming up after this one. We'll have Ryan. Now, Ryan Collier, I think that was canceled. That was scratched. I think Colby Peck
Peck's fighting, yeah.
It's an exhibition, and he's going to be fighting James Thorne from Newfoundland. So,
be another good fight coming up.
this is one of those deals we'll have to wait to hear from the rink announcer who actually gets in the ring.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. You never know in the sport of boxing, especially amateurs. So I look forward to an exciting third round here. I think both fighters know they really gotta, empty their tanks in this round in order to, come out on top.
Well, a little slip by.
Yeah, it was a slip.
By McClain. Stephanie Walker getting in there pretty quick.
Both kids want it bad. It's just who wants it more.
McClain muscling himself out of the corner there. Whalen looks like he's stalking him the way he keeps coming in, but I tell you, I like McClain. He's not. You can tell he's not afraid to take a punch, eh?
No, tough as nails, which is typical of the New Waterford fighters. Leading with that big left hook.
Well, in the second round, he landed a couple of thundering rights.
Yeah, he did, yeah. He hasn't landed much his third round. They're probably halfway through now.
I tell you, when they want... Style is going out the window.
Yeah. Now they're just looking to trade shot for shot.
That's one thing you mentioned earlier about Marty O'Donnell.
Yeah.
I've always thought when Marty was, as he got along, a little more experience.
Yeah.
He had a great style as an amateur boxer.
Yeah.
Nice puncher.
Yeah, good puncher, left-handed.
Yeah.
Went to the Olympics at 112, which was flyweight. And to be honest with you, today he doesn't weigh probably much more than that. He's always kept in shape. He had a lot of fights, probably 100 and some amateur fights. Lots of extensive experience on the national team, and then he probably had about 12 pro fights before he gave it up.
Yeah.
He had a shoulder injury.
Yeah, no, I can remember Marty fighting, and he was a nice fighter. Okay, we'll see what the decision is in this one. And for the first one in this program, a great bout between Jeremy Whalen from Truro and Mike McClain from the Waterford, who was in the blue corner. Both fighters, it was their initial fight. They're making their debuts here tonight in the 170-pound class. So is that what, lightweight?
170? That would be super middleweight.
Super middleweight.
Yeah.
My favorite division was always the middleweights.
Yeah.
Because the middleweights are quick
and they can punch.
And they can hit, yeah.
The best of both worlds.
Like Carmen Basilio, or I think he was middleweight, and that maybe even though I think he ended up fighting heavy. No, Sugar Ray Robinson was middleweight as well.
Yeah.
And Marvin Hagler, right?
Hagler, Hearns.
Sugar Ray Leonard.
Yeah, Sugar Ray Leonard. They all fought at middleweight. That was in the heyday of boxing, back in the 80s.
Yeah. Just a great...
I mean, it's not the same now, obviously. I went to the Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather fight in Vegas a couple years ago. Worst experience of my life. It was the worst fight ever. The atmosphere was great in Las Vegas, but it was a horrible fight.
Scorecards. Enter your winner by split decision. From the blue corner, McClain.
You knew it was going to be close. It was a split decision for Mike McClain over Jeremy Whalen, but it was a good scrap.
Good scrap, yeah. Well deserved. So this fight here coming up is a late replacement.
Ladies and Jake Callahan.
So Colby Peck has the First Nations garb on. So
Ladies and gentlemen, our 11th bout of the evening is an exhibition bout and the 128-pound classification. 3 rounds of boxing, 2 minutes per round. Now the participants. Boxing out of the blue corner. This boxer trains at TRC Club from St. John's, Newfoundland. Give it up for Jake Callahan. And his opponent staring him down across the ring. Boxing out of the red corner. This boxer trains at Red Tribe Boxing Club from Escazone, Cape Breton, Nova Scotia. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Colby Peck. And the referee in charge of the bout after the bell is Brad Ross.
So Colby Peck with fighting out of member 2.
No, Escazone.
Escazone,
Yeah,
but he fights
Escazone.
out of the Red Pride Club,
Yeah.
which is member. Is that member 2?
No, member 2 is called the Member 2 Boxing Club.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Red Pride is indeed the new club out of Escazone, yeah.
Talk about last-minute replacements. There was a fight at Center 200. Roddy McDonald
Yeah. I was there for that fight.
was supposed to fight when he fought Irish Mike Flanagan
Yeah.
from Boston.
Yeah.
I was the announcer at ringside, and I had was blood all over my sheet because Roddy kept hitting this guy so much, right? And the guy was a replacement. I don't think he had much time to train. He was a big guy, but he didn't have a lot of skill. But you never know in the pro game what the last minute replacements are going to look
Yeah,
like.
absolutely. No, I'm wrong. I seen them fight. I think maybe at Glace Bait,
He fought in the minors form, yeah.
Yeah, and he fought a guy to a draw, an 8-round draw, I think, back in the day.
Whoa,
That was a pro-am card.
that was a good left hook there by Jake Callahan.
So again, both these guys look like they have long reach. Looks like young Peck has a little bit longer of a reach than maybe Callahan, but it doesn't seem like he's using it. He's kind of hesitant, not
Peck.
using his jab much.
He has a unique style, Peck.
Yeah, he's trying to stay low instead of using his distance and using his length.
That's another thing that amazes me about this game, but especially at the amateur level, the different styles.
Yeah.
Kids going in the ring. Now Peck's getting busy.
Good. And styles make fights. Styles make fights. He's got good movement. He's moving, laterally, left and right. But again, I'd like to see him keep that left hand up the entire time since it's dropping a little bit there. Peck needs to commit a little bit more to his punches.
Callahan seems to be very, very patient.
Yeah, very relaxed in there. And again, that can be a bad thing for amateur boxing because you only have 3 rounds to work. You really need to be busy, throw lots of punches.
Let's go back to where we were.
I think what's so important in amateur boxing is not only the first part of the round, the first 30 seconds and the last 30 seconds.
Yeah, very important. Yeah, because that's what the judges see the most: first 30 seconds and the last 30 seconds. And as much as the first 30 seconds count, even more so the last 30 seconds, because that's what's fresh in the judge's mind at the end of that round. That's why you always want to finish strong. Always finish strong.
That are made to help Josh Prince make it off to the Heritage Box Cup 2017 at London, England. So give up your money, help Josh out as he goes on from one other Nova Scotia boxer to the Heritage Box Cup in London, England.
Well, good luck to him, Josh Prince, going to London, England. So
Yeah, I know that kid fairly well. Just from seeing him box over the years. Super, super nice kid. What a great opportunity it is for him to go to England and fight. And a super nice kid too. So they're the kids you want to see succeed. He's got a good attitude, good fighter. He respects the game.
Round number 2, Colby Peck against Jay Callahan.
Callahan seems to be turning it on a little bit here, early in the second round.
He's cutting off the ring on Peck.
And again, both these guys are southpaws. So it's rare enough to fight a southpaw, but it's even more rare for two southpaws to fight each other.
Peck seemed to change his style. He's gone back to orthodox.
Switching back and forth. That can be good or bad. If you get caught switching in the middle of the switch, you can get nailed pretty easily. Oh.
He looked like he might have got a tag.
Callahan's starting to turn it on here a little bit the second round.
Yeah. They're respecting each other in terms of Peck not trying to get too close to him, and yet the other guy just on the outside. Good left hook.
Yeah. It seems like he's more relaxed, more patient, as you said earlier. He's just picking his shots. He just seems a little bit more comfortable in there than Peck does. And all that constant movement by Peck, it can, really have an effect on his stamina.
Callahan seems more methodical.
Absolutely. He's walking him down. Yeah. He's picking his shots. He's looking for his openings, and he's landing. And that'll be the difference in this fight.
He's just hitting him with that jab.
Yeah, he's catching him. Oh,
good left hook.
Straight left. Good round.
So Colby Peck against Jake Callahan. Callahan from Newfoundland, the TRC Boxing Club in St. John's. Colby Peck from the Eskazoni Boxing Club, the Red Pride Boxing Club.
Good fight so far. I'm thinking that young Peck might have to pick it up in the third round. Right now, I'm thinking it's at least 1-1, maybe 2-0 for Newfoundland, but who knows what the judges are thinking.
Referee tonight is for this bout is Brad Ross. Brad was so cooperative when we do interviews for boxing or whatever. We needed to get into the club down there on Cosset Street.
Yeah.
He would show up at the key, let us in.
Great guy, great friend of mine, a really close friend of mine. Awesome boxer, had over 100 fights. He also fought at the Ringside World Championships, and again, he's done so much for the sport, so much. Him and his wife Debbie.
So Colby Peck in the red corner. Josh Callahan slipped there by Colby Peck. He gets up and gets right back at it.
Pretty quick.
Get up like he was on a spring.
Peck is moving a lot, but he's not really busy. He needs to keep pumping that jab, and again, he's back to orthodox style.
Well, again, another thing is that both are making, it doesn't say whether Colby Peck, we really don't know what his experience is. I don't think he has a lot.
I think most of the kids from Eskazoni have a couple fights, if they have any at all. But again, two evenly matched boxers, and again, the third round's going to decide probably who takes home the win and who takes home the loss.
Coming up later in the program, the co-main event is Matt McDonald against Aaron Christensen. Christian from Ring 73 in Glace Bay. Matt McDonald from the Tri-Town Club. And then a little later on, Josh Prince from the north side up again in the 155-pound class against Tamanemi Yorsh from Citadel. And
it's going to be a great fight.
Apologize to him if I'm butchering his name.
No, that's pretty good.
Okay, there's Callahan. Left, another left. Trying to set it up.
Two straight rights. Again, it seems like they've slowed down a little bit here, Dave, in the third round. They might have a little bit of exhaustion going on.
Good left there by Callahan again.
Callahan seems to be loading up with every shot. Oh! Good right hook. Oh, and great. That was a good finish of the last round. That was a good fight. Close fight.
Strong flurry at the end there for Colby Peck. We'll wait and see. Again, this was an exhibition. We'll wait and see what the...
Yeah.
There won't be any judging in this one. So I think Colby Peck acquitted himself quite nicely in that fight.
Absolutely, yeah.
He's only new at it, and I'm not sure if Callahan has any more experience.
Ladies and gentlemen, please help us bring in the ring to make the medal presentations. Joe King of Joe's Pizza, a pizza that's been in the house tonight. Let's hear it for Joe King.
Again, a good performance by both boxers, Josh Callahan and Colby Peck.
Yeah, that was a good evenly matched contest. You know, we've seen a lot of fights tonight that were pretty evenly matched, which is good.
Well, there's nothing worse than seeing somebody laying over somebody.
That's mismatched, yeah. I mean, that's not fun for anybody.
The evening is an exhibition. They're both winners. Give it up for Colby Peck and Jake Callahan.
So we got the co-main event and the main event coming up here on Fight Night Round 4 on Seaside Communications. Dave LeBlanc along with Kyle McClain. A sport that would, I'd say in Cape Breton, it'll be a long time before dying. It seems even amateur boxing, it's on the upswing because we've got the new clubs in Escazone, Member 2, Ring 73 in Glace Bay, and Waterford is back at it, and then you've got the Tri-Town Club in North Sydney. One time the club over here was called the Tommy Gordon Boxing Club.
Yes, yeah.
Named after a great Tommy Gordon who was a guy that I think single-handedly kept boxing going here on the north side.
Absolutely, yeah. He's a legend here on the north side, and great guy. I remember talking to him several times, and he was so passionate about the sport. Back in the early 90s when I was boxing in the mid-90s, like he was a staple in Cape Breton for sport.
One thing with Tommy, I don't think I ever saw him without a smile on his face. He always had a smile.
Always, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, please help us bring the boxer in for the blue corner, James Thorne.
So we'll have to wait and see. Maybe James Fight is fighting Ryan Collier. We'll have to wait and see.
Okay. Yeah, it seems like it. That's Newfoundland.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next bout of the evening is in the 170-pound classification. 3 rounds of boxing, 2 minutes per round. Now the participants, boxing out of the blue corner. This boxer trains in TRC Club from St. John's, Newfoundland. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for James Thorne. And his opponent staring down across the ring, boxing out of the red corner, North Sydney, Hometown Pride. This boxer is your reigning 2017 Brampton Cup champion, Tri-Town's own Ryan Collier. And our referee in charge of the bout after the bell is Kyle Clark.
Very active club, Tri-Town. They have 10 young guys fighting tonight on tonight's card. That's amazing. Reminds me back in the heyday of Ring 73 when we'd have 8 or 9 guys fighting. It's rare that you see that many kids from the same club fighting on the same card. Again, it's just a testament of the job they're doing over here on the north side with the kids. It's amazing.
Ryan Collier against James Thorne. James Thorne's from Newfoundland, TRC Boxing Club. Ryan Collier, 170-pound class. Collier is the 2017 Brampton Cup champion.
Yeah, that's a big tournament too in Brampton, Ontario. Big tournament.
170-pound class. Kyle Clark's the referee in the ring. The boys are pretty similar in style, pretty similar in size as well.
Both of them are fairly experienced, which makes for a, you know, pretty evenly matched fight.
When they say the 170-pound class, what's the tolerance there? Like, is there a 5-pound tolerance?
Well, it'll all depend on the coaches and how they feel, but usually it won't go any more than, you know, 4 or 5 pounds. Like, you'll never see a 10-pound weight disadvantage unless it's maybe an exhibition. But they're very strict on that, again, for the safety of the fighters.
Sure. Well, there's a lot of torque in 10 pounds.
Oh, you have no idea. Yeah, absolutely.
Again, fighter in the blue corner is James Thorne from Newfoundland.
Collier's a little bit more aggressive. He tends to throw a lot of shots. And again, in amateur boxing, that's what you need to do. You need to be busy.
Again, it's one of those sports where experience is... I know when you're in the ring there against a boxer, your experience... I just think in certain situations when you're facing a guy like him, you fought a guy like him before, you kind of you know how better to react.
Absolutely. Yeah. But experience is a big thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, on July 1st, Canada Day, the Warriors Amateur Boxing Club.
I mean, you take a guy like Lennox Lewis, when he fought an amateur, I mean, his reputation would go in the ring before he would. I mean, the guy was fighting him. Most guys, the reason that he was in Sydney, they couldn't get anyone to fight the guy.
Yeah, his reputation preceded him. So a lot of guys were mentally done before they even get in the ring with him. I mean, he's an intimidating looking man, but if you ever met him and talked to him, he's one of those guys that you wouldn't even think was a boxer.
Yeah. Again, this one is Ryan Collier against James Thorne. Collier from North Sydney, 17 years old. He's had 7 bouts. James Thorne has had 4 bouts. He's 16 years old.
Yeah.
So Collier a little older, but Collier's got a little more experience.
Again, pretty evenly matched. Collier probably has a little bit more experience at a higher level, winning the Brampton Cup, because that brings fighters from all over the country. But at the same time, I mean, again, Newfoundland, they always come to fight, so it's always going to be a good fight.
More experience where we come into play in boxing, I guess, at the amateur level, and you know better than I would, but it would seem to me is that the part of the bout where if you've got the advantage over another fighter and you're starting to win the fight, the guy with the experience will know how to put the guy away.
Absolutely, absolutely. You got to know how to finish, right? And that's why you can't get too ahead of yourself, and that's where an experienced guy will be able to sit back, look at the situation, and do what he needs to do to finish a fight. You know, younger guys that maybe might not be as experienced, they're going to come out there maybe not know how to, you know, finish as well as a guy that's experienced, that's been there before. Experience is a big thing in boxing. You know, you can get 2 guys fighting at nationals that fight each other. One guy might have 15 fights, another guy might have 100 fights. You know, but once you're at that level, you have to fight those guys no matter how many fights you have.
And Collier taking the fight.
Oh, he's really loading up now. That's a standing 8 count there.
Well,
what they call that in amateur boxing, he may not have been landing a lot of shots, but it's called a passive defense, where the fighter is in a shell and not throwing back. And if the fighter that's actually engaging throws 7 or 8 shots, most of them are blocked, there is a chance that the referee will step in because of the passive defense and give him an 8 count.
well, there's another one where the 3rd round is going to be a dandy.
Yeah. Again, another close fight, Dave.
and Sullivan's Fuels.
They must have a good program in St. John's as well because, I mean, it's expensive. They're coming over here too.
Well, you know what? Newfoundland always had a great boxing team. At the junior level, which were the young kids, they always had the most national champs coming out of Newfoundland more than any other province in Canada. It was really weird. But once they got to the intermediate and senior levels, they kind of subsided a bit. But at the, the junior level, the young kids, they always had a fantastic program in Newfoundland, and they always produced lots of national champions. Lots.
You know, one thing I noticed on this card that we don't have, and one time you'd see a lot of boxers from Port Hawkesbury.
Yeah, they used to have a boxing club.
Yeah, I don't see anybody here, so now maybe they just...
Rockabye Ross.
Yeah.
Yeah, they used to have a real good fighter named Jason Peebles who was on the national team.
He was the guy I was thinking of.
Yeah.
He was an excellent fighter, little guy.
Excellent fighter, little guy, probably 132 maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, he won national championships. And he started back at that club, and he had it going for a couple of years, and then I guess life gets in the way. But there's no club there in Port Hawkesbury now. But they had a rich tradition as well.
What a great name for a boxer, though, George Rockabye Ross. Same as Tommy Gunn Spencer from Waterford. Yeah, great names. If I was boxing, they would have called me Lights Out, probably.
A couple of my friends used to make fun of me. They used to call me Kid Candle. One blow and I'm out.
Okay, this is the final round of this match between Ryan Collier in the red, James Thorne in the blue. The standing 8 count in the second round.
Yeah.
For Thorne. Collier with a little more experience.
Yeah, that might be the deciding factor in the fight, depending on how the ref or how the judges scored it. But he seems to be turning it on here in the last round.
Thorne a little cautious. I think he respects what Collier can do.
I think he respects his power now and his ability. So he's not going to take as many chances. But he seems like the bigger guy in there, to be honest with you. He's got a little bit more reach. He just looks like he got a bigger build. But again, he can't use that to his advantage, and that's a disadvantage to him. Oh.
Right by Thorne. Might have missed.
Another right.
That's over.
Well, that was a good fight. I think Collier might have pulled it out. He was a little bit more aggressive, landed the better, cleaner shots. But again, I mean, Newfoundland's always tough. But I have to give this one to Tri-Town. It was an excellent fight by Collier. I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot of these kids here that box tonight at the Nationals coming up next year.
Interesting to see what the result will be. I would think it would go to Collier, but we'll wait and see. Here's Blake Bentley.
Presentations. Representing the Northside Hall of Fame, Bonnie Gordon.
Doesn't look like Bobby Gordon, but...
No, yeah. Granddaughter, maybe. We have 2 bouts coming up next. Very exciting. 4 really good fighters coming up in the last 2 fights.
Well, both have 17. Well, I'm not sure about Aaron Christensen, the number he's had, but Matt McDonald has had 17 bouts, and he's 16 years old.
Aaron's had about 23 fights, I think. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen,
that'll be a good scrap.
Yeah.
Announcement for our 12th bout of the evening. Once again, for the judges' scorecards, enter your winner by unanimous decision. From the red corner, Ryan Collier.
Well, that wasn't unexpected.
Yeah. Good fight. That was a good fight.
So we've got 2 more bouts to go, but the Matt McDonald against Aaron Christensen, that'll be good. I think it's, as you mentioned, Kyle. That'll be a good scrap because they've
It's
got
going to
lots
be a
of
great fight.
experience.
Yeah. Now I worked with Aaron Christensen at Ring 73 last week, giving them some pads, getting them ready. He fights under Harry Reid, obviously, who was a great amateur boxer out of Ring 73. Had a couple pro fights, and he's a protege of Henry Rideout. And he's the head coach now at Ring 73, and he's doing a great job with the kids there. And Aaron Christensen, as I said, he's had a few fights now. He's 20-some odd fights. He's really, really strong. Really strong. Matt McDonald is also strong. I've coached him before, so it's going to be a good fight.
Are you ready for your co-main event? Well, you got to make all kinds of noise and help us bring the fighters into the ring. From the red corner, Matt McDonald. Now to the command, boxing out of the blue corner. This boxer trains at Ring 73 Boxing Club from Glace Bay, Cape Breton, Nova Scotia. Fight fans, give it up for Aaron Christensen. And his opponent staring him down across the ring, boxing out of the red corner. This boxer boxed in the 2017 Brampton Cup. He was also at the 2016 Ringside World Championships. He is your reigning Canadian National Bronze Medalist, Hometown Pride. Tri-Town's own Matt McDonald. And our referee in charge of the bout after the bell is Ray Russell.
It's going to be a good fight, Dave. Again, I helped Harry Reid a little bit with Christensen, giving them some pads, and I've cornered Matt McDonald before. Both these kids are pretty evenly matched. It's going to be a really good fight. Very exciting for the fans.
You can tell as they get older, these guys, when the guys are getting in the ring, they seem a little older,
Yeah,
more mature.
a little matured,
The
eh?
way they carry themselves.
Yeah. And I mean, both these kids, if you've seen them on the street, they just look like the kid next door. You know, both super nice kids, but both of them can fight.
Yeah, just a reminder, Matt McDonald is in the red, Aaron Christensen in the blue.
Again, Christensen from Glace Bay, very strong physically. He just needs to use that height and reach advantage. And again, Matt's been around for a while. He has a lot of fights as well. And again, a very, very tough fighter and a nice kid.
It amazes me sometimes with these, just their Christensen fought his way off the ropes, right?
Yeah.
Some guys are so good at that. Other guys, it would seem the other guy had the advantage, but he fought his way off the ropes.
Yeah.
Got a couple of good shots in coming off.
A lot of guys use the ropes for advantage. Look at Ali, the rope-a-dope. He would fight on the ropes quite a bit, and he'd use those to his advantage, bobbing back and forth and using them for leverage.
McDonald is his own style. Christensen, a little more height,
Yeah.
probably a little reach advantage.
But again, that means nothing if you don't know how to use it properly. So that's why he needs to stay on the outside, keep him at the end of his jab, and work everything off the jab. But knowing Christensen, he likes to get in there and fight. And knowing Matt, he's the same way. Like, they like to make it a fight.
Christensen carries his hands a little low.
Yeah. Got to keep those hands up high.
Well, speaking of Ali, that started with him, so.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I mean, only special fighters can get away with that.
In the middle of the ring. Again, it's Matt McDonald against Aaron Christensen. McDonald from the north side here, 150 pounds. Aaron Christensen from ring 73. They're both in the 150-pound class. And this is our co-main event. Our main event, our other co-main event is Josh Prince coming up against George from Citadel in Halifax, Citadel Boxing Club.
It's going to be a great scrap. Good round. So I think these guys might be fighting 3-minute rounds, if I'm correct.
And you can see the experience in these.
Yeah.
Before me, it'd be fun for Josh Prince to go to the Herring Box Championships in London, England this year. He took $316 out of the pot. Greater equipment will match that. They deserve a nice round of applause for matching all the donations for Josh.
Yeah,
going to England.
Yeah, every cent helps when kids are trying to raise money like that to go, go overseas or go down south to fight.
Round number 2.
Because again, most clubs are just barely getting by.
Ray
So
Russell again bringing the boxers to the center of the ring. McDonald in the red, Christensen from the Bay in the blue corner. We have the blue headgear and the orange.
You know, if you got a Bay boy in there, it's always going to be a good fight, Dave. Win or lose.
You're not going to get cheated anyway.
No. But again, young Matt McDonald, very slick in there. Knows how to work off his jab. And again, good fight back and forth right now.
Yeah, the fans like it when they go toe-to-toe.
Absolutely, yeah.
McDonald seems to counter pretty well. Like there when he came off that.
Yeah, he's kind of waiting on him, a little bit. Oh, good left hook by Christensen. Again, but his hands are really low. You know, he needs to focus on keeping them a little bit higher.
It's going to be interesting to see what the match of the night is going to be.
So many good fights, Dave.
I think the McClain Whalen fight might be a candidate.
Yeah, that was a really good fight.
Donald's a long looping right-handed, totally missed.
Oh, nice right hand left hook. And the thing is about shots like that, those punches, when they miss, they take more out of you than if they land.
Good left hook.
Good left hook again. He seems to be a little bit more comfortable in there right now, Christensen.
He's relaxed, doesn't he?
Yeah, a little bit more relaxed. Starting to figure Matt out a little bit.
Christensen seems to have the look. Go ahead, hit me. I don't care. You know.
yeah. I'll take one to give one. But again, Matt's trying his best, and he's trying to get on the inside of that long reach. And when he does, he's successful.
Oh, another good right
hand on the inside.
It would appear Christensen seems to have a lot of savvy in terms of how he moves in the ring, too.
Good job. Good first round. That was a tight first round. Again, in the corner for ring 73 is Harry Reid and Ross McLeod. And again, Harry's been around the fight game for probably 30 years now or more.
It's showing my age. I can remember when Harry was a kid fighting amateur.
Yeah. Wasn't yesterday.
Wasn't yesterday. But every ring, every club seems to reflect some of the people that have been around, and Harry reflects the Henry Rideout, Greg.
Absolutely,
Martin
yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Influence. Henry is such a relaxed guy, laid back.
And Harry takes time out of his day to do this with the kids, and I mean, honestly, Davey's one of the hardest workers I've ever met. Like, he works 2 or 3 full-time jobs, then finds the time to come to the gym in the evening,
Well, it's a passion for him.
It's a passion, absolutely, absolutely, it's a passion for him. That's why I respect him so much.
Well, this should be an active round. Difficult to say who would have the advantage at this point. I think I would give a little bit of the edge to Christensen.
I think so too, yeah. He's kind of picking his shots now. He seems a little bit more relaxed in there now, especially now second round. But I mean, you can't sleep on Matt. He always comes to fight.
Okay. McDonald now. Christensen again showing that patient style that he's had throughout the bout. Very few clinches. In fact, most of tonight we haven't seen a lot of...
No, not many. Maybe 1 or 2 bouts, but I mean the majority of them, they boxed. Nobody likes seeing the clinching.
Well, I imagine I wouldn't want to be a boxer. That takes a lot of energy.
Yeah. And when you're wrestling in that clinch, that can wear you down pretty quick.
Christensen trying to be a little sneaky there, backing off and then throwing a punch.
He's pot-shotting. Seems like McDonald's throwing a lot more shots. So it comes down to the judges. Who do they like more? Someone that's being more aggressive, throwing more shots, or the guy that's throwing less but landing more?
No one is really, I don't think anyone has been hurt in this fight at all.
No.
I haven't seen too many really solid punches landing. Good shot there by McDonald.
That's what Christensen needs to do. Stay at the end of his jab, work off that jab. That's all he needs to do to win this fight.
Ooh,
Stay
right
at the end. Yeah, another good right hand. Nice light jab. Again, Matt's need to move his head. He's got to get on the inside and work.
Collier coming out.
Oh, uppercut on the inside. Both guys seem to be tiring out just a little bit at this point.
Christensen seems to be an opportunistic boxer.
He's waiting for his opportunity. Yeah, you're very right.
He's taking what the other guy's giving him, and it was a good bout.
That was a great fight. I may have to give a slight edge to Christensen, but otherwise, I mean, that was a pretty close fight. Again, Matt McDonald is, he's always in good shape.
This could come down to you're going to give anybody an edge. But I thought the Christians had a little more of an advantage. I thought he threw more punches.
Yeah.
He landed quite a few.
He picked his shots a little bit more.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, please help us bring into the ring to make the medal presentations for our core-main event. Phil McDonald from Scotiabank.
At least they could do it for him. He gave him $5,000.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's a great. That's community. That's what community's all about. And that's what
absolutely.
I mean, the corporate side of it. If you didn't have corporate support, most of these things would never happen.
Yeah.
They couldn't move on.
No, you need it. You need it. Amateur sports, especially in Nova Scotia, Cape Breton in particular. It seems like the only sport that really has a lot of money in Cape Breton is minor hockey. I mean, you look at their draws and they're 50-50, right? They're bringing in a lot of money. You know, the same can't be said for boxing.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now have the official announcement for our core-main event of the evening. Once again, we go to the judges' scorecards. And to your winner by unanimous decision, from the blue corner, Christensen.
I think that was the right call, Dave.
I think it was a great call. And you know something? I think in all fairness to the Northside people that are putting this bout on, I know they got neutral officials.
Yeah. That was a good fight.
I think everybody in the building agrees with that call.
Yeah, they do. I'm sure they do. And again, both of them, I've known both of them personally, both good kids. Again, a learning experience. Whether you win or lose, you're going to learn. You're going to pick up from this. Next fight, it's going to be that much better because you're going to know a little bit more. You learn a lot more from your losses than you do your wins.
Well, the main event's coming up now, the other co-main event. Once it's co-main event and main event.
Yeah.
Regardless, it's Josh Prince from the north side here, Tri-Town Boxing Club, the host club, in the 155-pound category against Tamimi Yorsh from Citadel Boxing Club in Halifax.
Ladies and gentlemen, please help us bring the boxers into the arena for our main event of the evening.
This is going to be a good fight. And if
they're
coming from Citadel Boxing under the tutelage of Wayne Gordon, you know that these kids are ready to fight and they're well prepared.
Ladies and gentlemen, please bring them in from the red corner, Josh Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your main event of the evening, proudly brought to you by Creator Equipment. This bout is in the 155-pound classification. 3 rounds of boxing, 3 minutes per round. Now to the participants. Boxing out of the blue corner. This boxer is an open fighter. He boxed at the 2017 Canadian Nationals. He won a bronze medal in 2016 at the Canadian Nationals. Give it up for Tamimi Georgie.
We were close with that last name.
Yeah.
And his opponent staring him down across the ring. Boxing out of the red corner. This boxer boxed in the 2016 and 2015 Ringside World Championships, where he won a silver medal in 2015. He is only one of 2 boxers from Nova Scotia who will be boxing in London, England on June 16th through 18th at the Herring Box Tunnel. He won the Canadian National Bronze Medal in 2016, and he is your reigning Canadian Bronze
Again, in the corner of Prince is Mike Giro and Alt McKinnon, who also fought in the Ringside World Championships, winning a silver medal last year. And in Citadel's corner, again, the great Wayne Gordon.
So it's going to be a good match.
Yeah.
Prince Georgie gives up a lot of size to Prince.
Yes, he does, yeah. He's short and stocky, it seems. Again, Prince, again, longer, long reach.
Moves well. The other guy more compact, but Prince seems to move pretty good, eh?
Yeah, he moves really well. Lots of lateral movement. He's a kid that knows how to use his reach and stay on the outside, which he'll need to do with this, the shorter, stockier kid from Citadel.
Do the boxers wear kidney protection? I noticed the fighter for the Citadel, he seems to have some kind of a belt on underneath.
Most of them wear the big thick cups that go around, but I mean they're not mandatory. You can wear a little small cup. It all depends on the feel, but they don't really protect the kidneys very much. Yeah. But again, a kidney shot is illegal.
Yeah.
But some of them wear the big thick bands that go completely around.
Again, this is your co-main event. It's Josh Prince, who will be heading to England pretty soon, from June the 16th to the 18th for the Haringey Box Cup against Georgie from the Citadel in Halifax.
So this is a good tune-up fight for Josh to get ready for that big competition in England with Team Canada. I'm sure he's going to do big things there. Again, he's a very experienced fighter, well coached, and again, another kid that I know personally that's a good kid. So.
And Wayne Gordon in George's corner.
Yes.
A little bit different. He was in the corner for the Cinderella Man, the movie.
Yes,
so.
He was. Yeah. He actually was on the movie set for that entire set. He got paid to coach Russell Crowe and to get him into the boxing role. And again, Wayne's been around for a long time national team coach, Olympic coach, former Olympian himself.
And his father, Taylor Gordon, who ran amateur boxing for many years.
Yeah, so. and Taylor's wife, late wife, Marina Gordon, another staple in the boxing community.
Prince dancing around.
Josh landing that nice long jab, trying to come over the top with the right over it. Oh, got to give it a big left hook there.
Body shot by Prince.
Oh, nice uppercut. That was a good first round.
Lots of action. The fans getting their money's worth, not only in this match, but the entire night. Yeah.
It's a good card for the fans to see.
I mean, you think about it. It's 3.5 hours of boxing.
And there was no fights really that were bad.
No. Nobody one-sided.
Yeah, and that's what you want to see in an amateur boxing card, and that's what the fans pay to see. So I think most of them have gotten their money's worth. I'm sure they all feel that way. And again, good fundraiser for the club.
And a great event to have here in Seaside Communications.
Oh, absolutely. Back in the day, Seaside used to do all the fights at Ring 73. Almost every card we had there, Seaside and beyond. I probably have about 10 fights of mine that were recorded from Ring 73 back when I was a kid that Seaside Cable, produced, which is always cool. People love seeing their fights on TV, especially kids.
You're getting up there when your early fights are on VHS.
I know. Yeah.
George came out with a lot of energy from the break and taking it to Prince right now. Prince tries an uppercut. Yeah,
I'm sure Wayne told him to try to close the distance and stay on the inside. But I mean, it's hard to do when you can't work your way inside and you're getting shot pot shot it as you're trying to come in, as he's doing. And again, Prince is digging, mixing it up, going to the body, then to the head. Oh, nice right hand.
Whoa.
Oh, good right hand by Prince. He's found a home for that overhand right.
Prince
Again,
seems to
right
drop
hand by
that
Prince.
left hand. Looks like he almost fakes the left hand, and he throws the overhand
Yeah,
right.
it's almost like he's trying to bait him in.
Yeah.
You got to be careful when you do that. Sometimes that bait works, sometimes it doesn't.
Well, the Halifax boxer, even though he's smaller, and he's pretty quick.
Yeah, he is quick, yeah. And again, he's doing his best to try to close the distance and stay on the inside, because this is where he needs to work, right here, while they're in close quarters. But once they separate, again, it's more of Josh's game then. Good left hook to the body by Prince.
Those body shots take a lot of steam out of
Yeah,
him.
they do, yeah.
Especially if it
You
hit
know what they
hard.
say? The body goes down, the head goes down with it. You always got to dig to the body. You know, you don't see a lot of it in amateur boxing, but it's such a good tool to use. Whoa, again, nice right uppercut on the inside by Josh. And he's digging again to that left hook to the body, aiming for the liver.
You know, I like the way this Josh Prince moves in the ring. He's got first thing you can tell, he spends a lot of time training because
Yeah.
he's in great shape.
Yeah, he's in excellent shape, yeah. And he's very slick, too. Again, he's a seasoned, veteran of the amateur game. He's been around for a while, fought at a very high level.
You know, for a lot of these boxers, and I don't know if it was the same when you were around, but for these guys at this stage of the game, and the way the media is, it's great that Seaside Communications is broadcasting this. But for a lot of them, their amateur boxing sometimes is the best kept secret. You know what I'm saying? Like
Absolutely.
Like in the boxing community, everybody knows. You know all these guys and coaches and everything else. But for a lot of the general public, if they don't take the time to go watch this,
They don't know.
they don't know, and
Yeah.
they're missing it. They should be seeing
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And again, I can revert back to the old days in Glace Bay, Ring 73. We'd have cards all the time. Everybody knew, who was a boxer in Glace Bay, and we used to get lots of publicity from Seaside. Cape Breton Post used to always, cover our fights, and it was good, and it was good for the fighters. The kids like that.
Seconds out for our third and final round.
But it's, again, one of those things. If you're not here, you're really, because there's not too much, publicity, it's good to have Seaside here. Good to have Cape Breton Post covering it. And it's good exposure for the kids. Like, this is awesome for the kids. They're going to see themselves on TV. I mean,
right?
what's better than that?
Oh, you're right. We're in the final round of this one. Prince against George A. from Citadel Boxing Club in Halifax. Still very close.
Yeah, very close fight. I think Prince is going to try to use his reach a little bit more in this round, stay on the outside. He doesn't want George A. to get too close.
Good right hand by George A.
Yeah.
I would imagine Gordon told George A. stay involved. You got to keep throwing punches.
Yeah. Yeah, stay busy. Last round. Again, but Prince is just landing a couple more shots than George A. is. A little bit cleaner, but I mean, George A.'s in the fight right now.
Prince fights with a lot of confidence.
Yeah, he's a very confident kid. I mean, those hands are down low. You know, he's using his reach. He's picking his shots.
And the thing that I like about the Halifax boxer is that he seems to know his limitations in terms of, he knows he's got to watch that reach, right?
Yeah.
The Prince, but
He knows what he needs to do. It's just doing it.
yeah.
He's trying. He's trying. But again, he's got a national caliber boxer in front of him in Josh Prince. So, I mean, he can only do what he can do. Oh, another right uppercut by Prince.
He's getting in there.
Yeah. That overhand right and the right uppercut seems to be the key to Prince's success in this fight. He's landing them both quite a bit. And he still looks pretty fresh.
Oh, another good
Good
shot.
left hook. We're coming down, I guess, close to the end of the third round. Good, another right hand by George A. And another right hand by George A.
It's going to be interesting seeing the scoring in this one, because we never ever find out the intricate details of how many points they win by. But I think it's Prince's fight.
Yeah, I think it is too. But it's a close fight. It's a close fight. Certainly not one-sided, but Prince seems to have a little bit more skill. Great fight.
That was a good scrap. I don't know if they've met before, but it was a great scrap. We'll wait to see what the decision is, and then we'll call her a night.
Good fight. Both kids gave it their all, and I mean, that's all you can expect from them.
The referee is never any part of this decision, is he?
No, never, no. Back in the day, back in the early days, the referee was one of the guys that decided the winner. If you remember, like back in the 30s. 20s.
No, I don't remember that. What's your point,
all
Kyle?
Fight video, all fight videos. Yeah, there was a time where the referee decided who won and who fought. And really, they have the best view for the whole fight because they're right there in front of the fighters.
Bobby Beaton used to have great stories. Bobby was the old referee. He had great, the old Italian.
Ladies and gentlemen, please help us bring into the ring one of the biggest sponsors for boxing here in North Sydney, Keith Miles, the CEO of Creator Equipment, to make our medal presentation.
Keith Miles, one of the biggest sponsors that Northside has. He's an integral part of their success here. Seems like a super nice guy. I'm pretty sure he used to box back in the day when I was boxing at the old Tommy Gordon. He was back in the day.
Ladies and gentlemen,
the announcement.
let's give these two warriors a nice round of applause. What a great way to end off the show. Now the official announcement for our main event of the evening. Once again, we go to the judges' scorecards. And to your winner by unanimous decision, from the red corner, Josh Prince.
I think that was a good call, Dave.
Good call. Great match.
Yeah, great fight.
For the final, I think all in all, great boxing here tonight.
Great
in
night
North
of
Sydney.
boxing, yeah, great night of boxing. It's good to see, good for the community, good for Cape Breton, and like these guys put on an awesome show. Hopefully the next show coming up in Member 2, and then in the Waterford, and Sydney as well. I'm hoping that they all have great shows as well.
Kyle, great to see you. Great working with you.
Thank you, Dave. I appreciate it, my
Talk to you
friend.
soon.
Hopefully we can work again.
Another great night of boxing here at the Americana Northside Fight Night, round number 4. It's been a great experience again. I'm Dave LeBlanc for Kyle McClain saying good night from North Sydney.